Let's find the stream and post it in the party. I'll let you do the intro while I share this.
Let me do the intro. Yes, should be fun. Ja, heb jij voor mij een oplaaien? Wat zeg? Heb jij voor mij een oplaaien? Nee. It's that slow. Ja, daar heb je niks aan, hè?
Je kan wel daar stoppen. Hoe niet? Kan je er mij niet?
Dat gaat er niet.
Wat moet je dan hebben?
Nou, pak maar zo een kabeltje van boven wel.
Dan moet je het kabeltje hebben van boven.
Well, back in action for tier 1. Driving this time at
Bahrain.
Bahrain, yeah. I thought so. It's dark out there. Q1 with 16 drivers. Only one to fell off after this round.
Yeah, we will only be losing one driver from qualifying 1, and then the rest will be moving on to qualifying 2. So it'll be interesting to see who drops out of qualifying 1 and who progresses, as it is literally make or break for the drivers that are typically in the bottom half of the field today, with a better opportunity to get through to Q2 than what they normally would be. So let's see, we currently have Kenny, as Rosie and Bobbers all on outlaps. And I will change the settings to show what tyres each driver is running on. Bearing in mind the medium tyre being around about half a second slower per lap. And yep, as expected, everybody has gone out onto the full soft tyre, with both Haas drivers leaving the pits behind each other, well, in unison. Let's see. Yeah, pretty much half the field is now out of the pit and on their outlap. And it looks like it is one of the McLaren boys, which I think will be Kenny, who will be the first one across the line. Yeah, it will be. Kenny will be the first one across the line to start his qualifying lap. So either myself or Albert will jump on board with him when we see him getting towards the final sector and see where he ends up. But for the time being,
he's gonna be first.
I meant like what sort of lap time he sets initially. Obviously, with the 16 drivers and 15 places, competition in the lower half will be even more important this week than previous weeks, as there's only one place to vie for. And
well, Kenny just invalidated his first lap.
For me, he hasn't invalidated his first lap. He's still on his lap apparently. Well, according to my game, he's gone purple sector 1, which is obvious as he's the first man through sector. And there he goes, invalidates it at turn 8. Who else have we got out on a lap? Bubbers is out and he's coming through sector 2 on a flying lap, and he was the second man up the track, so he will be the first man across the line. See where he goes and if he can actually set a decent benchmark time. Bearing in mind a lot of these guys are setting like 124, 125s in time trial, so qualifying will be around pole will be around about a 126, 127, as he goes across in a 128.1. So some time to improve, as Rosie immediately goes quicker and Sadistic King immediately goes quicker than her. Both of them with respectable 127.3s and 127.1. Both respectable times there. Sadistic King and, well, Rosie opting to go to the runoff to let the faster car behind go. Well done her. Liverpool fan with a 126.5. This is exactly what I meant, that their time trial times are right up there with some of the fastest around. So they will be looking at dropping at least a 125 for pole position, which we've just got with Beastie Boys doing a 125.9 in Q1. Alright guys, there's no need to put on a show for us right now. We know that you're quick. That is Killer J going quick and slow on his outlap, getting out of the way of a faster driver. MX blocks him, slotting straight in at P3, with Steel doing a 125.9. So only marginally quicker than Beastie Boy. This is interesting how this one will shape up, as we currently have 11 drivers that have set a time, so we will lose one driver. Sadistic King has opted to retire already. So that's a crash by Sadistic King. Somewhere he has lost it. I'm trying to find a driver that's remotely near that incident, as that is on the way down to turn the final corner.
Is it automatically that he is the one out of Q3?
Yeah, so he will be the, as long as everyone sets a time now, he will be the man that does not make it out. So that Q1 is pretty much wrapped up now. All the drivers have to do is set a time to get through to Q2.
I think that's eventually that's a good thing for Shadow Moody.
Yeah, Shadow Moody right on that bobble at the moment, being in P11 with drivers behind him. Not only quicker using the wheel, but used to using it by now, as Shadow Moody has only picked it up recently and he's still getting used to it and only now starting to score points consistently while using it. So it's a big learning curve for him, and I've spoken to him personally about it. It's one he's enjoying, and he is actually having fun, and the more immersive experience of playing the game with the wheel is actually helping him out. As we say that, he loses. He's out on track at the moment. He's on a lap at the moment, coming into the final couple of corners. Will he improve? Sorry, Moody, that we've missed most of your lap and literally caught the final two corners. I do apologise.
He's already in 135.36. It's in lap.
Ah, right. Yep. Killer J, as he comes around the final corner, no, penultimate corner, sorry. I really should know this by now, but I don't. Sorry guys, it's Bahrain just looks like a desert, that's all of it. Steel retired from P1, so yep, safe. Killer J up into P9, reasonable time from him, knowing that he's safe as Sadistic King is retired.
I think from these times you can see that place 1, 2, place 4, 5, 6 also can try to go for the medium tire in the Q2.
Yeah.
Start on that.
Bearing in mind, we don't know what any of the setups these guys are running again, as none of them care to share their setups with us before the race. Which, guys, if any of you are watching it, before the next race, if one of you just want to like drop your setup into either mine or Albert's DMs, we won't say the full setup, we'll just like let people know what wings you're running and like something like that, just to give people an understanding of what type of aero package is required for a track. That would be helpful. And as Jay Hartnell loses it coming out of turn 8 going towards turn 9, he's managed to keep his car in one piece, so he'll be happy with that. But as I was saying, if you just let us know what aero package you're running, because it all depends what aero package you're running, what diff, as to how much tyre wear you have. So some people like the rear end to be really loose, so it slides about on the exit of corners. Others prefer it to be really soft. So then it just goes wherever the front end goes, essentially. But that will depend, well, that will affect tyre wear at the end of it. As Jay Hartnell comes across the line, the final man to not set a lap time, and he moves up to P14. Wait, so that's a very slow lap time by Jay Hartnell with a 1:31.4. Rizzlesticks looks like he's just set a lap time for the sake of setting a lap time.
It's an old lap time for him.
That's what I mean. It looks like he's just set a lap time for the sake of setting a lap time, which a few drivers will do.
But the only guy on track with 4 laps on his softs is Bilton Net. He has done 4 laps now.
Liverpool fan is blowing his own horn in the YouTube comments, saying nice Q1. I'd agree with that, but Bruce, you have more time to find. Because Theo has just put you to bed in Q1. Jay Hartnell and so on, everyone knows they're through. There's no point wasting any more time. But saying that, Brizzle sticks through sector 2 is 4.2. Oh, it was 4.2 seconds up and he lost it coming into the penultimate corner. That uphill right is awkward. You touch the curb and you're basically spinning. That sausage curb just doesn't help. And yeah, I know you're not that fast Liverpool fan, but oh well. You're faster than me, and I'd argue faster than Albert at times. I'm not going to completely put Albert down, as he's a solid driver himself.
That's nice of you.
For once, I'm actually saying something nice about you instead of insulting you.
Yeah, but
it must be Christmas.
Now finally you got the wheel on your hands, so now you're gonna
struggle.
Feel how strange it is.
Yeah.
And how difficult it eventually is with the wheel.
Yeah. I feel like for myself, I feel like I'm gonna delete the clutch pedal for now and move the brake pedal over to the left. So then I don't have to worry about which pedal is what, because I'm ignorant and just tend to forget, and literally at the first corner I hit the clutch thinking it was the brake. And was wondering why it wouldn't go into reverse while I was sat there up against the wall. I was like jamming the clutch pedal in, going, why isn't it going into reverse? What's going on?
And it's a bouncy pedal. It's not a stiff pedal.
No, it's not. The brake. Anyone that is watching or is interested in getting into the sport or the game in general, I've just picked up the Logitech G29 for the first time. It's the same wheel that most of these guys have been using for years. Albert, Liverpool fan, and a few others, to name a few, all use it. It's definitely worth the money, and just basically, if you've got the funds, go out, buy it. You won't regret it.
It's a whole different approach of the racing.
It is. If you have the right setup, it makes you feel like you're actually part of the race and not just touching a couple of buttons every now and again. You're actually full on immersive in the experience. It's fun.
And it's easier on the straights to alter your diff or your brake balance, because you don't have to fight constantly to keep your car in the right track.
No, what I did notice was that when I come onto a straight, mine just immediately locks out and puts it straight back into position. so it goes straight back into like dead center along the straight.
Yeah.
So I don't need to fight with it in order to get it back into a straight line. So during like the straights, I can adjust brake pressures, diff, things like that. Make sure that what I need for the next corner is there. As we come into the final 4 minutes of the session, everyone currently running is already through. They're just probably just making sure that they're getting the right allocation for the race. They're testing a few things. Like Bilton Matt has done 5 laps on a set of soft tires. That's interesting, to say the least. Or he's used there's like 2 or 3 different sets of softs, which would indicate he's gone for the softer compound for the race. If he's got that many sets of softs to burn during during Q1.
On his 5-lap stint he does. He has 127, 135, 126, 134, 127.
So his lap times have been up and down, and the lap time that he's currently set, that's probably in P6, is his current best, and he's got nowhere near the consistency for the lap times regarding the tyres.
Looking at lap times, it's a speed lap and then a cool down, speed cool down.
So he's going at it, and then he's doing a cool down lap, recharging the batteries and going again.
Yep.
As Beastie Boy just does a 125.8. Like, these guys, let me put into comparison, these guys are that quick that their qualifying times are quicker than my time trial time around here. By a good 10th, and this is Q1, so these guys aren't even going full, like, race mode yet. They're just setting times for the fun of it.
He finds the faster time that he has. He found it in sector 1 and sector 3. Both of them are faster, so it altered his setup a little bit.
So he's done something different in the, and it could just be he's changed the diff. Oh no, you can't change. The only thing you can change is the front wing and brake pressure.
And tire pressure.
Yeah, so he might have been running the wrong tire pressure for the setup. Bearing in mind, during qualifying, you want the quickest car possible, so you want lowest tire pressure, so on. But when it comes to the race, you might want to change your tire pressure so you get a little bit harder tire, so that tire wear isn't as bad.
Yeah, but if at the race you can alter the brake pressure also.
Yeah. So it's the only way I can describe qualifying to people that don't really watch F1 or understand it all that much. It's like the tyre sets that you get given for qualifying are like being given Christmas and birthday money. It's completely up to you what you do with it, and you can spend it on anything ridiculous or do something stupid with it, knowing that you've still got your tyre allocation for the race to come. So these guys will just be they'll just be taking the set tyres, they'll be using the most ridiculous version of their setup, the most extreme version, to get the most out of the car, knowing that in the race they can dial it down and still be consistent with their lap times. Yeah, they may lose a 10th or 2 per lap, but that 10th or 2 is worth it when you're getting that extra lap, 2 or 3 laps out of the tyre wear. As qualifying 1 comes to an end, a couple of very quick times, a couple of times that the drivers will have just set the time just to get through. As the only driver that we've actually lost is Sadistic King. Shadow Moody finished P16 out of 15 available drivers somehow. That takes talent, but he should be through to the next round as only 15 cars can make it through and one of them crashed. So Beastie Boy, Steo, Liverpool Fan, MX Bloxham, Kenny, Bilton Matt, Killer J, Rizzle Sticks, Rosie and Ill Gaines make up the top 10 going into Q2. Warrior Huntsman, Pedboy, Jay Hartnell, Bobbers and Sadistic King, aka Shadow Moody, make up the top 15. Be interesting, like where it said that Shadow Moody set a time slower than Sadistic King. It'll be interesting to see if they actually let him through to Q2, because sometimes the game glitches and doesn't allow that.
It doesn't allow him.
Nope, we've lost 2 drivers. We've only got 14. So Moody has been knocked out. So in order to progress past the retired car, you have to set a time. If that retired car is in the drop position, you have to set a time faster than it in order to progress through qualifying. You can't just take it as a buy that it's retired.
Okay, there's one thing I don't understand. Jay Hartnell is currently leaving the pits on the medium tire.
It's Q2, so that's the tire he might be looking at.
Yeah, but in all honesty, he couldn't set a good lap time on a soft tire. So basically he's gonna burn his medium tires and still not get into Q3.
He might go out on the mediums and see what everyone's pace is on the mediums and then come back out later on a set of softs, which a lot of drivers do, particularly who is it that did it last week? Steo did it last week, MX Bloxham did it last week, Beastie Boys did it last week. A few drivers do it, even you do it yourself, Albert. You come out on the harder tyre in Q2.
Yeah, but at least I try to. I know that I'm not that fast on the medium tires, but sometimes you need to have the luck.
Yeah, you need.
Go on.
Yeah,
But he barely made Q3, Q1, and that was on a soft tire.
Yeah. I think he wasn't actually going for like the perfect lap. It was just a matter of that he knew he needed to set a lap time to get through. So where is Jay Hartnell? He has already crossed the line. Yes, he has. So, not to be disrespectful towards Jay Hartnell with the conversation that's just happened. We will ride on board with him. Well, from my stream, I'll ride on board with him and see whereabouts he's going to end up. As we said, the hard tyre, the medium tyre is around half a second a lap slower. So the fastest time in Q1 was a 1:25.9, I believe. So a 1:34 is like the perfect lap on a set of mediums. So if he can get around about 1:31, which will still be slow, it will be a decent lap time on Andy's Invalidate's lap.
Beastie Boys is currently on a lap, but he's not using his ERS. He chose to do one out lap, then a warm-up lap, and then a first lap.
Yeah.
Because he's not using his ERS or something.
Yeah, he's not turned the hot lap mode on for ERS for some reason. Some drivers prefer to have it on regular ERS mode so they can pick and choose when they use it, like now. He's currently using it.
He's gonna set a 1:34.
Yep, so 5 seconds slower than the last. Well, 4 seconds slower than the previous best for the last session. That was on the medium tyre without ERS, and ERS is worth about 5 seconds a lap. as built and Matt does a 1:27.1. So immediately 3.3 seconds quicker. Beastie Boys already up almost a second in sector 1. Let's see how he's going to get on with the rest of the rest of the track as he comes down to the infamous turn 10, the trail-breaking hairpin, which that corner in particular can be the make or break of your lap. Get it right, you'll gain a lot of time. Get it wrong, you'll lose time. Like, not just a couple of attempts, you could lose up to like half a second plus if you get it that badly wrong. As he comes up, and he's gone. And he was 2.4 seconds up on his previous best. Oh, that's gonna be painful for him to watch that back later.
That's a burn set.
Yep, that set will be overheated and ready for the bin. So he's gonna have to hope that he's got enough fuel in the car to do another couple of laps, cool him down, and go again. That's what I'd hope anyway. But I think he might just come into the pits and change tyres. As MX Bloxham is on his outlap, Warrior Huntsman on a lap as we speak. No, Warrior Huntsman is on his outlap. It's Kenny on his actual lap, sorry. As Kenny comes down towards turn 10.
MX does also the same. He's did a timed lap, an out lap, and he's using one extra lap for a little bit of extra tire heating.
So did he use any of his ERS during that first flying lap? Did MX?
I don't think so.
So what they're doing then is they're coming out with maybe 4.5 laps worth of fuel. They're coming out doing their out lap, and then they're doing a flying lap without using ERS, and they're just burning fuel. So then when they come across the line, they've got enough. And Kenny straight into P1 with a 1:25.9. So that's
on the soft tire.
Yeah, on the soft tire. So it makes sense that they're doing that. So then when they're actually coming across the line, they've got full ERS and the lightest car possible. Actually, that's a good trick to know, Albert. We might want to keep that idea in the bag. Cheers for that, guys. We'll keep an eye on that. As Beastie Boys is now on a flying lap, coming across the line in about 2 seconds. 1:20. That's respectable on a medium tyre.
Burnt set.
Yeah, burnt set of tyres. As he just gets beaten to P2 by Ill Games. Bearing in mind, it is Christmas weekend in the UK, so a lot of people will still be spending time with family. So that's why we only have a grid of 16 instead of the full 20 that we normally would do. Some people will be either travelling back from seeing family, or they'll be still seeing family that they haven't seen in months due to COVID. So to those who are actually off seeing family, from everyone at ARL, Merry Christmas and stay safe. To those who are actually watching and racing, well done for turning up. Hope that you're not too drunk or hungover.
We're gonna watch Bristol Sticks on his first lap.
And he's in sector 3 coming around the final corner. Yes, let's see where he ends up. He is on the mediums too, so we know the mediums are capable of a 1:26. And he does a 1:27.8. I don't think that's going to be enough for him to get through, in all honesty. So he may have to come out again on a set of medium tyres.
It all depends on what the Liverpool fan and Kidder J is gonna do. Are they opting for the soft tire to get to Q3?
Yeah, do you want to burn that? Do you want to burn that set of tires and then have to start the race on them, or do you want to have the free tire allocation for the race? It's it's these little choices that the driver makes throughout qualifying and the race itself that ultimately decide where they finish.
Bubbers is now for a first lap.
Who was that? Bobbers.
He's now going for the first lap.
Yeah, full ERS, everything open. Kenny's retired from the session. Kenny believes he is safe. So yeah, it's going to take everyone from Rosie up to, well, Liverpool fan and up to set a flying lap that beats the 125.6, was it?
Bubbers already invalidated this lap with low fuel mode.
Yeah, he's just gone.
I think the tires are a little bit overheated.
Yeah. Jay Hartnell on his flying lap in sector 2, coming around turn 10. Sorry guys, I seem to have the habit of picking drivers up as they're coming around a specific corner every lap, and it seems to be turn 10 for Bahrain. I do apologise. It's just literally slap bang in the middle of the track, and it is an awkward corner to get right. Let's see how he gets on. Purple middle sector, so he's on course for a decent lap.
And then Rosie is gonna get kicked out.
Yeah, Rosie will drop out of Q3 contention, but Rosie is currently in the pits on a fresh set of softs, so she is looking at coming out within the next couple of minutes.
Okay, 126.
Sorry, that was just a quick round of applause. Well, a solo round of applause for Jay Hartnell pulling that one out of nowhere. I'm going to say that I wasn't expecting it, as that is Rosie still sat in the pits, but it looks like she is, just left the pits down in P11 with 3.5 minutes left to go in the session. So she has, call it 3 minutes to get round, do a lap, well, get out, do a lap, go around again. Which, if she's got enough fuel in the car, she will have enough time to do 2 flying laps. As the outlap will be 1:30, that will leave her with another 1:30 to do her lap. So she should be able to cross the line with about 10 seconds left if she can avoid traffic.
Currently on the 12th and 13th place, we got Killer, Jay and Liverpool fan. Both on the first lap.
Oh, this could be interesting if one deems the other one to be blocking. So I'm going to ride on board with this, so then they have evidence that, Killer Jay invalidates his lap. So he will now back out of it. Well, I hope he will. I'm just riding on board with it, just in case one of them decides that they're going to report the other one for blocking, when both of them were on flying laps.
My honest opinion, this is unnecessary.
Yeah, there's plenty of time to back out of it and get to the finish line. So if I was Killer J, I'd back out of it now and give enough of a run for the final corner. But it looks like he's going to be straight on the gearbox of Liverpool fan for the DRS and the slingshot going into turn 1. But Liverpool fan might also want to go again. He's got enough time.
Liverpool fan is on the medium tires.
Yeah, Liverpool fan into P8, so he's still got an issue there. He's not completely safe yet. Yep, he just peels off and lets Jay go. Well done for Liverpool fans for doing that, letting Jay go and knowing that he's still got enough time to get round and start a lap again if he's quick enough. Which, if he cuts a couple of corners here and there, he should be able to get round and go again. But Warrior Huntsman is retired, and he's on the cusp of being deleted from this session. Rosie is currently in sector 2.
Liverpool fan is gonna get out qualified.
Is he? By who?
At least by cierant2014's. Hubbard. And I think Rosie.
Yeah, Rosie's now on the soft tyre, so Rosie will be looking to improve. And as I said, Rosie's got plenty of time to do 2 laps on these tyres. She's got 38 seconds to cross the line now, and she's on the start-finish straight. Rosie P10. Oh, P4. Well done, Rosie. Well done, Rosie. So she will now start on the soft tyre, because yes, there are guys out on laps. Killer J up into P5. That pushes Liverpool fan down into P10. So we have Rizzle Sticks and Bobbers.
Liverpool fan is done.
Yeah, that's his qualifying over. He's just got to hope that these two don't set a faster lap. Saying that, Rizzle Sticks is faster than his previous best. Liverpool fan.
Bubbers is gonna. Bubbers Q20 is P10 currently.
Yeah, Rizzle Sticks will go P8. P5, he picked up more time during that final session, well, final couple of corners. So, we have lost Bobbers, Liverpool fan, and Pedboy from this qualifying session so far, with the final 10 yet to be decided, as I'm not sure if anyone's picked up a penalty anywhere. I don't think they have. So, as it stands, we have Kenny, who's currently chilling in the pits, MX Bloxham also in the pits, Bilton Matt, Jay Hartnell, Rosie, Rizzle Sticks, Illa Gaines, Killer J and Steel making it through, as Beastie Boy just goes in and goes deep, which has just pushed Bobbers down into P11. So yeah, those 3 already out. Beastie Boy just improving on his existing position. So well done him with a 1:25.7, impressive lap. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting Q3, as there's quite a lot of time between those who qualified at the top end of the field in Q2 and those who just about straight through.
Only Steve has set his fastest lap time on the medium tires.
Ah, is that what he did?
Yes.
So his fastest was, yeah. The only one to make it through to Q3 to start on the mediums. So as I was confirming, so through to Q3, it's Beastie Boys, Kenny, MX Bloxham, Bilton Matt, Jay Hartnell, Rosie, Rizzle Sticks, Illa Gaines, Killer J and Steel. We have lost Bobbers, Liverpool fan, Pedboy, Warrior Huntsman from the session, as well as Sadistic King and Shadow Moody from Q1. Bearing in mind there's 1.35 seconds between Steel and Beastie Boy. That's not a small gap to make up in one qualifying session. And it'll be interesting to see if he can actually close that gap.
With the soft tire, he should be able to do it.
Yeah, but the mediums are only between half a second and 7 tenths slower per lap. So that's not a tyre issue, that's a pace issue. Bearing in mind, Bahrain is one of those tracks that you either love or you hate. A lot of drivers aren't a fan of it, some are. They just don't like the overall layout of the track, they think it doesn't flow and things like that.
What are your predictions for the first and the second row?
So predictions, I'm gonna go with Beastie Boys and Killer J on the front row.
Beastie Boy and Kenny.
I was gonna put Kenny and Steel, no sorry, and MX Bloxham on the second row.
MX for the second row with Rosie. So we got Beastie, Kenny, then MX, and then Rosie.
Rosie will probably come out with a surprising qualifying session. As she has done over the last couple of weeks.
She's always fast in Q3.
Yeah.
And MX is also fast in Q3. Well, Beastie Boys is always fast. Kenny is also fast. cierant2014 has made, in my opinion, too many little mistakes in the Q3 she's into.
Yeah, some drivers, the pressure of Q3 gets to them and they just struggle. Others, they just flourish. So, who have we got out on track at the moment?
Kenny is the first one to set a lap. Then it's gonna be Jay. Then Steve. Then MX. And then Rosie.
As I say that, I jump onto Kenny just as he's coming across the line. So Kenny going through sector 1 at the moment. Obviously it's going to be a purple sector as he's the first man through the sector. Well, first person.
And already someone's faster.
As you know, guys, it's now 2020, so we can't assume that someone identifies as a male or female. So, everyone's a they now, as Kenny comes down towards turn 9 and 10. No, I was completely wrong. He was past turn 9 and 10. He's coming to the end of sector 2.
Zingen, dat horen ze hier ook, hè?
Wat?
Als jij staat te zingen, horen ze hier ook, hè?
Ja, dat maakt niet uit.
Jay Hartnell is retired in P10.
.125.6 for Kenny.
And the lap times are around about what I said they would be in for pole position. I said around a 125, 126, didn't I?
Yeah.
As Theo and MX Boxem and Rosie all come across the line in the 125 and 126 times. So the time frame that I gave for a lap for pole looks like it's going to be accurate for once. And Bilton is the next man on a lap, but he has invalidated his lap somewhere. As Rizzle 6 goes across the line for his first lap, we'll ride on board with him and see where he ends up. So it looks like Kenny has set down an early marker to see who can challenge him.
The only one who's capable of challenging him is Beastie Boy at the moment.
You see that as Rizzle 6 goes purple in sector 1. bearing in mind we can't see what engine mode these guys are running. So some of them might have set their personal bests already in rich engine mode and not max. So we don't know if they're using the full capabilities of the engine or whether or not they're just taking it easy to get through. Because some tracks, you know that you're quicker than every, and Rizzle Stick's Purple Sector 2. So he's coming for P1 at the moment, but his sectors haven't stayed purple, so someone else has gone faster like, around the track. And a disappointing final sector for him, losing a lot of time somewhere.
Yeah, or the purple sectors burn purple.
Yeah, might have just been purple because it was his first lap, or...
I'm gonna watch it. Chase.
So, is it only... Who is actually on a lap at the moment?
Nobody?
Nobody. Everyone's just either in the pit or on an out lap. Kenny coming out of the pits for another run. Rizzle Sticks is actually on an in lap by the looks of it, as he invalidated his lap pretty early on.
Beastie Boy only needs to find 0.1 second for his fastest time in Q2. He did a 1:25.7. So he needs to find a little bit of extra speed.
I don't think he was at the full... I don't think he was attacking the track as much as he could.
And he's still in the pit.
Mm-hmm.
He's going for one lap wonder.
Yep, that final lap, come out, smash it, retire. But with this qualifying strategy, it's difficult because you've got to time it, so then you come out the pit lane with free air and you've not got anyone coming up behind you starting a flying lap.
Kenny is faster in the middle sector.
Yeah, I've just jumped on board with Killer
And
J.
invalidated.
How's Killer J going to get on? Is he's currently 7th. Where's he going to qualify? He's still got enough time to do another lap, but he doesn't improve. It looked like he improved lap time, but not position. Bearing in mind, I don't think my qualifying time would even get me out of Q2, let alone into Q3. Because I don't think I could get anywhere near the pace these guys are setting. So I'm impressed with all of them. Beastie Boys is still sat in the pits.
Then I think he notices he's faster.
It's interesting that he's still sat in the pits when there's only 2 minutes left of the session.
No, he's now coming out of the pits.
I feel like he may have left himself with a lot of work to do on an outlap. Because if he gets caught up in traffic or there's someone ahead of him, he will suffer. So he's got to rely on everyone else to get out of his way, essentially. So then he can get a decent lap time in and not make any mistakes. Bilton also on an outlap. Is anyone actually on a flying lap? Yeah, Killer J.
Killer J, yeah.
So we'll ride on board with Killer J for a moment.
No. He's almost out of ERS, so I don't think this is his flying lap.
Yeah, half a second down already. So he might have already done a flying lap and then just ran out of ERS because he's been running in hot lap. And ERS, bearing in mind, is worth up to 5 seconds a lap if used correctly. It gives you that extra boost of power. I think it's like 140 brake horsepower boost. And it's responsible for up to like 10 miles an hour extra in a straight line. So
Beastie is now setting his lap.
As Killer J comes, Killer J, yep, he's almost a second down. So he's not going to find a second in the final corner. We'll ride on board with Beastie Boy as he does his flying lap and see where he ends up, because he's currently both of our choice for pole. Well, at least the front row lockout. MX, where is MX Boxman on a flying lap, or is he called it a day?
MX is also on a flying lap.
Okay, so my front row was Beastie Boys, Kenny, and then second row was MX Bloxham and Killer J, so that's not going to happen. If I get 3/4 of it right, I'll be happy.
It all depends on MX and Rosie.
It does indeed. Bearing in mind, we did say Rosie would come out with a decent qualifying session. And, Beastie Boys he did that on purpose. He invalidated his lap, and instead of finishing qualifying, he just binned it. Which will cause yellow flags in that sector of the track, which means people have to ease off. And he will have to...
Right. The yellows are already gone.
Yeah, deliberate crash in qualifying, caught on stream. Beastie Boys, there is... Steel, straight into P1.
125.5. That's a decent lap time. Bilton, 125.6. And Kenny is also on a fast lap. Now coming up the straight. And... that was qualifying. First.
Okay, so the top 10 is Kenny, Steo, Bilton Matt, MX Boxing, Rosie, Brizzle Sticks, Ilganziz. Liverpool fan did correct me, but I've just read the message and forgotten already. Killer J, Beastie Boys, and Jay Hartnell. With Beastie Boys invalidating his lap and oddly deciding to just crash instead of cross the line. Not sure what the admins will think of that, but it was caught on the stream if you do want to watch that later on. As I know some leagues, they have a thing against deliberately crashing out or retiring on track, unless you're in the pit lane.
It's the second time he is out of the qualification.
So the man that we said is the only man that set a lap time on the medium tyre in Q2 and just about squeaked through has set pole, and he will start the race on the medium tyre while everyone else starts on the softs behind him.
Kenny has got first place.
Oh, was it Steo that qualified second?
Yes.
So he got pit to it right at the end of the session.
Yeah. The 125.5. I guess.
Some unreal laps thrown in there, and the 125 to 126 category that I said for pole, actually pretty accurate.
I think they were gonna suffering a lot of tire degradation with that fast because you can alter the, you can't alter the setups.
No, you can't, which unfortunate for the drivers. Park firmware conditions. And
You're already off.
Oh, no formation
Pet
lap.
Boy, false start for Pet Boy. Beastie Boy. Also, penalty for.
And there is a safety car. With Beastie Boy, Pet Boy, and Sadistic King all getting drive-throughs.
For false starts.
So, if we have a full course safety car, I'm trying to just get a look at, you know, the little boards that are around, see if it's a VSC or if it's a full safety car. Oh, it's full safety car. So we will spend the opening laps underneath the safety car. So this will be interesting for tyre wear. 5-second penalty for speeding on the safety car. For who was that? That was
Sticks and Elliot Garners.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So pretty much everyone has just stayed in position. I've apparently got Beastie Boys leading the race, which I don't think is accurate. It is accurate. He got a great start. He's actually out ahead.
Beastie Boys just got drive-through for false start.
Yeah, but I was going to say he also did jump the start. Everyone that seems to have gained positions seems to be the ones that have jumped the start.
And Steve has dropped 13 places.
And he's now got Shadow Moody for company. And if Shadow Moody lives up to his name, he will just become a second Shadow to Steel for a couple of laps until Steel gets everything under control. Rizzle Sticks into the pits, serving his 5 seconds under the pit, in the pit lane, which I will catch on stream, so then it will come up as served, and if need be he can report that to stewards as it's been served in the pits and can potentially be removed.
Well, Beastie Boy is gonna put on hard tires for 27 laps.
Remember, he's got the drive-through, hasn't he? So
Yep.
that's not a bad option by him, as it will make him avoid having to stop again, because he's essentially got to do 2 pit stops anyway. The drive-through and the actual pit stop that he's already done. So where did Beastie Boy end up actually?
15th. Right behind Shadow.
So he's lost positions through jumping the start and then pitting early for hards.
Yes.
Which is no, it might have been a glitch with the game telling him that he could go, because sometimes it does happen. Safety car is in this lap after a lap. So if the safety car was out for only a lap, that means that it was only out to clear debris. So someone must have lost front wing somewhere. Not that big of a collision. So everyone will be now warming the tyres up. Bearing in mind, the hard tyres around here take a good 2 to 3 laps to completely fire up. So expect the hard tyres, the guys running on the hard tyres, to drop off the pace a little bit. Bearing in mind, it's only the 2 right at the back that are running the hard tyres. Beastie Boy overtaking Shadow Moody there underneath the safety car before the lights went green.
He's giving back the position.
Yeah, and he ended up losing out to Rizzle Sticks too. And he just makes a nice move up the inside of both of them. Shadow Moody dropping way off immediately. I'm not sure what happened there. I think he might have missed the safety car restart or something. Kenny just driving away. He got an excellent restart. Sorry that we missed the restart due to the safety car.
MX is gonna...
Yeah, I've got on board with MX as he goes up the inside of turn 9. Sorry about that, my phone just pinging. I will turn that on to silent so we don't hear that again. Do apologise. Even Rosie is now getting involved in the fight. But Rosie... Oh, we've got another VSC.
Beastie Boy, DNF. I think Beastie Boy has not a great evening.
He had a great Q1 and Q2, and Q3 just didn't work out for him. He left it too late to come out and try and set a lap time, knowing that if he invalidated it, it was game over, which it was. He then deliberately crashed. Then start of the race, jumps the start, gets a drive-through penalty, then ends up crashing out immediately after. So in 4 laps of racing, we've had 3 jump starts by 3 different drivers, a safety car, a DNF, and a VSC as a result of that DNF.
And Steve on his medium tires is already up to 8 position.
Yeah, after getting swamped at the start and having a bad start, I believe. As Rosie goes purple first sector during the race. So Rosie's hot on the heels of built-in map. She will be hoping to avoid the same sort of thing that she had last week with El Alegre, where she was stuck behind him for almost half the race. Because like last week, we weren't ignoring the rest of the action that was going on, because that battle was thoroughly entertaining to watch between the two of them. And yes, there were overtakes everywhere else on the track going on, but that battle was so interesting because there was only a 10.42 in it between them each lap. But there was she just couldn't get past.
There's something with Steve.
Where is Steve?
Get back at 10 position.
He's dropped a couple of positions there. Kenny going second fastest lap. Bill and Matt with the first fastest lap of the race so far. As we have Sadistic King making moves. Sadistic King, remember, didn't get out of Q1.
Already up to 7th position.
Yep. Let's see how many positions. He's gained 8 positions so far. So he started P15. Shadow Moody, bearing in mind, started P16, and he's up to 12th at the moment. So just lingering outside the points, unfortunately for him. He'll want to improve that position pretty quickly, and he probably hope that he can pick it up before anyone else stops. Bearing in mind, it looks like a few drivers did pit for the mediums very early on, as there was a lot of guys on 4-lap old mediums on lap 5 of the race, so that indicates that a few of them did stop, or otherwise I've just got an issue with my telemetry.
Oh. Only Rizzlesticks and Killer has made their stops, and that was during contact.
So yeah, I just have issues with my telemetry, so do apologise about that. Kenny just going faster and faster. Rosie will have a 5-second penalty to serve in the pits as she is under pressure, and that move is completed. Oh, a little bit of contact there. It didn't look like she gave enough room on the exit. Tried to come back at him immediately and just clipped his rear wheel. Fortunately enough, no end plate came off, and both of them stayed in a straight line. But that won't be something she'll want to repeat. And she will have to save her ERS, because she's on 10% ERS. So she's going to have to harvest it for a couple of laps and just hope that she stays within induction distance. As Jay Hartnell picks up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Bearing in mind,
currently The top 5 has soft tires, and
Everyone below them are mediums, I believe.
except Jay and Steve. Steve is up at the stop. He's now on the soft tires.
So Steve has come into the pits already and gone on to the softs. So he will be doing, I'm assuming, medium, soft, mediums for his race, or medium, soft, soft, with the two-stop strategy, trying to get through to about lap 16, or he'll get through to about lap 16 or 19 on the soft tyre, hopefully, before he has to stop again. But as we saw last week, he is very good at tyre management, as he went quite deep into Russia with very, very consistent lap times.
Yeah.
Killer J picking up a time penalty.
Well, I think Bilton is saved a lot of his tires because he's closing the gap with the MX.
Yeah, he is slowly closing that gap to MX.
He's now in the DRS distance.
So he's within DRS range, so we will jump on board with him in a second as he comes out of turn 10 straight into the DRS zone. Is he going to get it done before turn 11, before they start heading uphill? Before the no, it's just not quite close enough yet, but he does have more ERS than NX blocks him, and still within that DRS range. With the monster straight we have here at Bahrain, the DRS zone is relatively early on. So if you can get a good exit and hit that DRS button, ARS, sorry, and he should close right up now.
MX goes to the pits.
Yep. So Kenny is the leader at the moment, still yet to stop. Rosie up into P4 where she started, I believe.
MX goes for another set of softs. He goes to soft, soft, medium, I guess.
It's an interesting choice. That might be so he has more grip at the end of the race when other people's tyres have started to go off. And he might feel that's the best strategy for him. But on the flip side...
Falling back to the 10th position.
Yep, so Steel with the fastest lap of the race. Down in P14. A very solid lap from him. Jay Hartnell coming into the pits. Let's see what he goes for.
Mediums.
Yep, I was going to say it looks like a set of mediums from what I saw. Yep, definitely a set of mediums. Those yellow outer walls, an indication of what tyre you're on.
Well, Bilton preserved his tyres quite nicely because he's now currently 2.3 seconds down on Kenny.
Yeah, he's stayed relatively out of trouble. He's only gained one position during the race so far. But staying out of trouble, just making sure that you're keeping your lap times consistent, not overworking the tyres. And Kenny, third place into the pits, locks up just before the pit lane entry. Rosie picking up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So she'll have to serve nope, didn't serve the first 5 seconds there. Didn't serve any 5-second penalty there. Puts on a set of mediums.
And Sadistic now in P3.
The loser there was Ilganzis, who was dropped down to P11. Rosie has managed to come out in P9. Fighting Shadow Moody, who goes round the outside with an absolute beautiful move there. He will be proud of that one. That one was a nice move. Yes, he was overtaking a car coming out of the pits, but Rosie straight back at him, straight back up the inside at turn 4. And yep, moved on, completed. Shadow Moody back down to P9, Rosie back to P10. MX blocks him in P9. P8, sorry. So both Ferraris lingering around the lower half of the points so far. Bearing in mind there are still cars to stop ahead of them. Yeah, pretty much everyone ahead of them has got to stop at least once. So
maybe Rizzle Sticks.
everyone ahead of them is yet to stop except for Rizzlesticks. So the current podium sitters after the first round of pit stops will be
number 1 and 2 are all together in the pits.
Yeah. So Kenny
is
gone.
Kenny is going to the hards.
Interesting. Trying to get 19 laps out the hard tyre. I can't quite remember the tyre telemetry, but I think the tyre life at a 50% race is around about 24 laps for the hards and around about 17 to 19 for the mediums. So he may have looked at the mediums and thought they might die just before the end of the race. So I will go for the slightly slower tyre and manage to maintain that pace throughout the rest of the race. With Sadistic King, Liverpool fan, Bobbers, Warrior Huntsman, Rizzlesticks, Kenny, Bilton Matt, and Rosie.
And MX has done something wrong, I guess.
Yeah, what happened there? Did you catch it?
No.
Or was he just overtaken?
I'm gonna watch at the incidents.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on that for if it's posted in incidents, because he appears to have his front wing still. So, but he is going very slowly as he just gets overtaken by Steel. So
his front wing is still intact.
Yeah, he's looking at being overtaken again by Killer J. That it appears that he's disconnected from the game.
Okay.
So bear with me for a sec, guys. Yeah, it appears that he's disconnected from the race. I have just sent him another invite into the session, and hopefully that will allow him to rejoin. But his car is just—it's a solid state car, but it just keeps going ghosted. Shadow Moody picking up a time penalty there as Ped Boy goes past him. So there's something wrong there, unless his wheel is slightly disconnected or he's not getting enough feedback through the pedals. It could be a list of things that has happened, but it's just not nice to see. Like, his ERS and stuff is still working, so it's an indication that he's still actively controlling the car. As from one angle it looks like the car is ghosted, then from the very next angle the car is solid. So I have no idea what's happened there. I'm sorry guys, but there's not much else I can do except for send invites. Which, Albert, if you don't mind sending him another invite just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, gotta do it.
I've already sent him one, but we all know that Cold Bastard servers are useless at times and will just not let you in if you've got slightly dodgy Wi-Fi. As Rosie's overtaken into P... Nope, Rosie's closing up on the back of P7. So Rosie's up for a fight as she's behind Illa Gaines and Rizzlesticks, as Rizzlesticks is coming under increasing pressure. It looks like he might be overtaken on the exit of turn 10 and before turn 11 going uphill. Are they close enough? That's the question. I don't think he... No, not close enough. But... Oh, is he going to go around the outside? Ooh. Risky there to cut across, and there is contact, and that has allowed Rosie to join back in the fight as Rosie is coming back at
Sadistic is also going for the pit.
Sadistic King is in the pits, was that?
Going for the hards.
So this battle for 6th place at the moment, well 5th place, sorry, is actually heating up. As Rizzlesticks takes a, we'll call it an exploratory line across the exit of turn 3, as he has one sent up the inside of him into turn 4, which is compromised. Oh! Rosie capitalising very well there. She just held back, waited for the inevitable contact, and swooped in to take 2 positions at once. So yeah, also caught on the stream if either one of the drivers wants to make a complaint about the other one. The admin team can just refer back to the stream and take a look at it. Kenny is back up into P3. So he has currently lost 2 positions. Liverpool fan and Bobbers, both yet to stop, I believe. Yeah, both yet to stop, and they've managed to go 12 laps. As I say, that Liverpool fan dummies a pit stop. No, he doesn't. Yeah, he's actually in the pits. And Bobbers both in the pits. So interesting to see where these two come out. I hope for their sake they manage to get in and out inside the top 8 and give them a fighting chance for some decent points after, frankly, not a great qualifying session from either of them for their standards, as this is not the sort of standards that they'll want from themselves. Well, they set themselves.
Bubbers is on the soft tyres. He's opting to go to the end of it.
What tyre did he start on? Was it the medium?
Yes.
So he's trying to do 15 laps on the softs.
He should be capable of doing it. But it's going to cost his speed at the end of the race.
Yeah, they might fall off of a cliff around about lap 24. So it looks like his intention is to just pull enough of a gap on the slower tyres now. As Killer J, Killer J and Warrior Huntsman getting extremely close there. Warrior Huntsman's not going to be happy about the lack of room given on the entry to turn 9. Bearing in mind, it's not a place you expect to be overtaken, so you will just take your regular line into it. But
well, with all the DRS rates, he lost it.
Warrior Huntsman is, well, spun.
He pushed the overtake button in the middle of the corner.
Yeah, that's one way of doing it. So those hard tyres will be lit up and not really ready for any sort of power to be put through it. As Theo comes into the pits, is this his second? Yeah. That's what he's done.
Medium, soft, medium.
Yeah. He's come into the pits. He's bridged that window between the medium going off at the end of the race and still having life in them by the end of the race by doing a quick stint on the softs, knowing that he now will have the tyre life to drag him back into the points. Bearing in mind he's P11.
He'll take a look at place 6, Sadistic King.
Yeah, pitted very late compared to everyone else, opted for the harder tyre, and going extremely well. Like even Bobbers is on in P8, but he's on the soft tyre. If either one of these two score decent points, I'm talking between 4th and 7th, then arguably easily driver of the day through having the sheer, I'm trying to find a nice way of putting this, they found a way to make the strategy work. That's the PG version of it. As Liverpool fan is starting to get on the back of Sadistic King, He's looking for the move. He's not quite close enough going into turn 1. But obviously having DRS into the second DRS zone going into turn 4.
Currently, Rosie is faster on her medium tires than Iliagan is on his soft tires.
Interesting.
The last 4 laps is a 131.5 from Iliaganis, and Rosie is doing 131.0.
So again, she's stuck behind a slower driver on track that she can't find a way past.
Well, she has a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, but this will be chewing through her tyres following a car ahead.
Yeah, but eventually his tires are the soft.
So
And
he
still
will
30
require
laps to go.
Yeah. Well, he will require either another stop or
letting her go.
yeah. Which I think she will get past at the next DRS zone. Yeah, he's coming into the pits. He is timing that just about right to avoid a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's getting it, like, he's locking both front wheels just before the line. So that promotes Liverpool fan and Sadistic King, who are having a nice battle themselves.
No, on the same set of tires.
Yep. Same tyres. Both looking at scoring some decent points. So we'll
At
see.
least Sadistic. He was out in Q3. Q1.
Yeah, he crashed in Q1, I believe, or just retired. So he might have had a quali ban or something. I'm not entirely sure. If anyone wants to correct me, feel free. The criticism will just be ignored. Any praise will be accepted. Rosie up into P3 now, so she, on the medium tyre, has a 5-second penalty, and there is 9 point something seconds behind her. So
Yeah.
even with that time penalty, if she can manage the gap, she could still end up with a podium. Kenny and Bilt and Matt are just driving away with P1 and 2 at the moment.
It's a solid race from Bilton.
Kenny's been a solid race too. Kenny qualified in pole.
Bigger.
Yeah, qualified pole, and who's just managed to keep himself out in P1. Not really had any issues to do with.
The Rizzle is into the pits. For sure, he's going for the mediums.
With 11 laps to go.
Yeah. Out of the points. Then a gamble.
Rizzle Sticks will come out just ahead of Jay Hartnell, I believe. Yeah, just out ahead of him, so he's still inside the points. Jay Hartnell is on 9-lap-old mediums. So he...
Bubbas is never going to make it to the end with the soft tires.
Yeah. Where is Bubba's actually?
6th position.
Yeah.
2 seconds behind Sadistic and 9 seconds in front of Iliaganis.
So risky decision by him. Oh, we have a yellow flag at turn 1.
Still driving. I think it's Shadow. It was not Shadow. It was Pet Boy.
Yeah.
Pet Boy with wing damage.
From where exactly? He's all by himself.
On 2 laps old hearts. So
Yeah. Can we just take a moment to realise that MX Bloxham is also pitted again? He's now on medium tyres and a lap old.
yeah, but is he still in the car?
It looks solid, but then it also ghosts every now and again.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, just take a moment to look at it and realize what I mean. It solidifies, then it goes ghost again. It's an odd one.
From lap 8 till lap 14, he's done laps of 142.
That sounds like an AI lap.
I think he's now from lap 15, he's back in the car. Doing 133s, 130, 133.
Yeah. So the 140 sounds like an AI type of lap.
Yeah.
So it didn't come up that he left the session and that he joined the session when we sent him invites. But we also can't see when they put themselves in AI mode. So he may have needed to get up and go do something, like, and unfortunately had to put himself in AI mode. Ped Boy is in the pits. And he comes out after being lapped. I believe.
For sure, MX is back at this car. Purple first sector.
Yeah, definitely back in the car if it's purple. And who has gone deep again in turn 1? I think that one might be in Shadow Moody.
I know. Either Warrior Huntsman or Rizzle Sticks.
Yeah. Because on the mini-map, the blue and the black, and the blue of the... So the blue of the Red Bulls, the black of the Haas, and the blue of the Alpha Tauris all look very similar. You can't tell which one is which. MX blocks him immediately in with the fastest lap. Yeah, the man's back in the car, and he's got a point to prove now.
Bilton is going into the pitch.
So he will be aiming for soft tyres now. Yep, set softs, and away he goes. So that will be gain as many places in the final couple of laps and try and take fastest lap. That extra point may come in useful. Bobbers is in. Oh, that's a weird strategy.
Yellow.
No, he's put softs back on. Bobbers.
We got a spin-off killer in the third sector of the track.
He's
front wing damage.
Yeah. Shadow Moody with a time penalty.
Shadow Moody has a lot of time penalties, already 9.
Oh god. Yeah, about that. So MX Bloxham is looking at being lapped within the next couple of within the next lap or so. Killer J is also going to be lapped within the next lap or so, as he's sat in the pits as Bloxham comes along the start-finish straight. Yep, so Bloxham will take him there. There we go, sorted. So he will come out the pits and the leaders will be right on his gearbox, or at least close to. Yep, Killer J being lapped. So MX Bloxham will be the next one. Kenny will be following pretty...
It's a strange strategy from Bilton.
As we say that, Rosie is currently in the pits. So Rosie is again opted for the soft tyre.
Yeah. Look at Liverpool Penicilistic. They got a gap to Bilton from 8 seconds with 7 laps to go.
And neither of them have a penalty. So as long as these two don't battle it out all the entire way.
Yeah, they could help each other.
Yeah, that's what I'm meaning. If they don't battle it and they just use the DRS to their benefit. So they use... Oh, safety car. And do you know that gap we were just talking about?
Yeah.
Yep, that no longer exists. Look,
Shadow, DNF.
and Beastie Boy, who retired earlier on today. Rizzle Sticks with a 5-second penalty for speeding, ignoring yellow flags. So he overtook someone.
Oh, with 7 laps to go, we got a sprint race on our hands.
Yep. If you were the leaders, would you opt for the soft tyre now? If you were Liverpool fan and Sadistic King?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
Bilton is on the soft tires, new.
As we say that, Kenny is either just come into the pits or just left the pits because his pit crew is still stood there. Yeah, Liverpool fan in, knowing that he's not going to lose that many positions. Sadistic King also on the pits. Yep, Bilton has kept going. So
yeah, Bilton has only stopped like 1 or 2 laps ago.
yeah, so Liverpool fan and Sadistic King. Rosie is up into P4. Sadistic King has lost a couple of places in P5, but he does have the fresher tyres, the faster. No offense to Rosie, he's the faster driver. Well, more consistent driver, we'll put it that way, as Rosie is still getting used to her wheel, so I'm not going to say anything horrible about Rosie as the last couple of weeks. She has impressed me. So once the safety car goes in, we should have 2 or 3 laps of racing before the race actually ends. So let's see. Right, while it's under the safety car, I'm going to take a moment. I'm just going to go get a drink. So I'll let Albert take over for a second. Ow.
MX is back in the pits, also for soft tires.
That one doesn't surprise me for some reason.
And Rosie has served her penalty, so...
Rosie's time penalties no longer matter. She served them, so she will be penalty free by the end of the race. So where she finishes on track is where she finishes on track, unless she picks up a penalty in the meantime. Which, for her sake, I really hope she doesn't, because she's had a decent performance so far today.
It's gonna be fun to watch what Bilton is gonna do. Should he go for the first position, or should he try to defend his second position?
Yeah, it's an awkward one, isn't it? Because I would personally attack Kenny, but knowing that attacking Kenny could leave me vulnerable to Liverpool fan and Rosie, not too far behind.
Well, in the end, it's. I hope for Kenny and for Bilton that it stays like this. They are 1 and 2 the entire race, and it's a perfect example for a safety car that could ruin your race.
Liverpool fan with a severe collision with Rosie. I'm not sure if Rosie caused that or if Liverpool fan. The Liverpool fan's ahead, so I'm assuming it was Rosie that caused it.
Yeah, and Rosie has front wing damage.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she lost her right wing end plate.
I've just taken a look at her front wing, and it appears to be all in one piece.
Nah.
But there's no point pitting now for another one. No, she's still got all her front wing. Oh yeah, on the right hand side she's lost it. She's lost the barge board off of her front wing. So that will be yellow front wing damage to her. Safety car in this lap. So So, 5-lap sprint race. Who's going to come out on top and who's going to suffer the consequences of an ill-timed safety car?
The Sadistic is opting for a podium now.
Yep, the safety car has benefited him. Sadistic is up 10 places. Bobbers is up 5. Oh, Rosie has been absolutely swamped. But she got a nice move done there on Liverpool fan. I'll give her due there. That was nice.
Liverpool fan has dropped a couple of positions.
Did he pick up any wing damage with that incident with Rosie? No. So she just got the better safety car restart. So Bobbers is now on the back of Liverpool fan. Steo is within the mix. Bilton and Rosie has picked up a 5-second penalty for the collision with Liverpool fan. So both drivers.
King is now on the back of Rosie. And with her front wing damage, it should be an easy overtake for Sadistic.
Should be easy pickings, but we both know that Rosie is a difficult customer to overtake. She makes it.
Rosie is also no DRS.
And her ERS, well, nobody will have DRS until lap 28 because it was a full safety car, so the safety car's got to be in 3 laps before DRS is activated. So yeah,
he's going for it.
That's just sorted. He had it done before they even hit the finish line. So that's, but Rosie not giving up. She's still fighting, knowing that this will cost her positions in the long run. She's the only one, except for Liverpool fan, with a time penalty inside the top 10. Inside the top 8. Obviously with Warrior Huntsman and
safety car. Who have we lost? It's Killer 94J with another front wing damage.
So this race could actually end under the safety car.
Yes.
Which, if that's the case, then Liverpool fan and Rosie are going to plummet down the order.
Yeah, and Sadistic is on the podium right now.
Yep. Excellent try from him. So, we're getting to that time of the day again where we have to start discussing driver of the day.
Well, it's between Bilton, Kenny and Sadistic. But for the 18 places he made up, of the 17-15 places he made up, for sure it's Sadistic King.
Sadistic has made up 12 places this race. Stayed out of trouble. Bloxham has been disqualified for parking in a dangerous place.
Well, next to the track I don't see any parking spots available, so it's always a dangerous place.
So that might be what caused the safety car.
Ooh, and Rosie another 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings.
I always fail to understand how people get a penalty underneath the safety car. Killer J, 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane, who's also retired.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Every time when someone's at the back of the race, they are DNF'd, they are receiving a lot of penalties. With the same drivers, it never happened when they are driving at the front of the race.
Yeah, it's like they lose their composure when they're that far back. They just don't know what.
Yeah, but for now, it's not that hard because Kenny and Bilton stayed in the same position. Sadistic is in a good position.
Sadistic has done what Sadistic does. He operates very methodically and just picks off people where he can. He doesn't rush into any decisions. Do you know, when we both know this from first-hand experience, when we've got a car that's obviously faster than you behind and will make a lunge into a corner that if they just waited an extra corner they'd be straight past, and it's caused both of you damage, either ruined your race or put your front wing in jeopardy when there's no need for it. But Sadistic King, from what I've seen of him racing, he does not do that all that often.
I think Sadistic King is going for the second place. I think he's capable of that. Bilton is on 5 lap old softs. Sadistic on 3 lap.
What about Kenny?
Going. Kenny on 4 laps old.
So the win's still within the realms of possibility for Sadistic.
Oh, Bilton flunked it. That's a lot of wing damage.
As Theo makes up places. Rosie was the biggest loser there. Rosie from P4 down to P10. So that jumble at the first corner has just left Kenny to drive away from it scot-free. So with a lap and a half left to go, Kenny's got a 1.4 second advantage. 2 second advantage, sorry. Rosie's front wing is dead. She just picked up a 3-second time penalty, then a 10-second time penalty immediately. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see Rosie pull into the pits and retire. Which is a shame. She was having a great race.
Well, for the constructor standings, it's nice to see. 1 and 4 McLaren, 2 and 3 are Alpha.
Yeah, so Alfa Romeo locking out the position 2 and 3. Rosie is, well, exploring Abu Dhabi at the moment. I'm not sure what happened there. Like, her front wing isn't completely gone. She's still got most of it, so that's odd. So let's see how many penalties she's got. I'm surprised she hasn't been disqualified from the session, which it does look like that is what she's going for. Disqualification, as she's currently got 46 seconds worth of penalties. Which, 46 seconds, that's a lot of, and make that 49. I think she's going for the record of penalties for disqualification. As last week we got like 21 or 27 seconds worth of penalties.
27.
And we thought he was on the verge of being disqualified. Evidently the limit is not 30. As Rosie's on 49, and by the next corner I think she's going to end up with at least 50 something.
But in the end, Steve, with Carnage in the first corner, falling back to the last position. Now, second position. Sadistic from the last place.
Oh, Kenny hitting a wall at the finish line. And Steve taking the fastest lap of the race as the final lap. Liverpool fan, severe collision, on-serve penalty. Rosie with another time penalty for cutting corners. That's 54 seconds. So Pet Boy is actually securing a point, and he's not actually done anything. Rosie finished the race on 59 seconds worth of penalties.
They still made it for 1 point.
No, the driver behind her was a lap down, but only 20 something seconds behind her on track. So those 50 seconds worth of almost a minute worth of penalties will mean that she finishes way down the order and finishes as the last runner of the race.
In this standings not. She's still at the 10th position.
Oh, has it not updated it? As I was watching the podium celebrations for those on the stream. So, we will run through the order. Kenny with P1, Steel in P2, Sadistic King in P3 with an excellent drive from P15. Ilganis, sorry, I still can't get his name right. Bilton Matt in 6th, Liverpool Fan in P6, Bob is in P7, Jay Hartnell P8, Rizzle Sticks P9, Rosie somehow managing to stay in the race in P10 with 59 seconds worth of penalties there. Ped Boy finishing P11, Killer J, MX Boxham, Shadow Moody, Beastie Boys and Warrior Huntsman all either being disqualified or retiring from the race. I know Killer J somehow still finishes as a classified finisher when he got disqualified.
No, he did. He stopped in the pitch.
So, interesting session there. Again, driver of the day, 100% has got to be Sadistic King, with gaining 12 positions, going from P15 to P3. Unreal performance from him, and genuinely all round just a solid drive. Kept it clean. And I'm impressed. It takes a lot of dedication to get from P15 to P3. A lot of drivers would have given up after that qualifying performance, but obviously not Sadistic King. He had a point to prove today.
And also Steve, after lap 1 he was dead last.
Yeah. So my driver of the day goes to Sadistic King. Albert might have a different opinion.
No, not by any chance. Sadistic did a perfect job for it.
But Steo with an impressive drive himself as a recovery drive. So well done him. I think he extends his championship lead by a couple of points after that performance. Obviously there will be a few incidents that need to be looked at by the stewards later on in the week, so the final results that we have seen today might not be the final results come the end of the race, well, come the end of the week and going into the next week. But we look forward to seeing you then, and we'll catch you later at the next round, of which I think we've only got one left.
I really don't know, but I'm sure that I will be co-commentating with you.
Yeah, you will, because I will drag you into the session if I have to. Anyway, guys, cheers for tuning in. We'll catch you again at the next race. Albert, do you have anything to add?
No, you did an exceptionally good job.
Yeah, thank you for helping me out. It's appreciated, and see you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.